You introduced that down up movement as a technique to maintain composure when answering tough questions. Why is this movement so powerful, and how does it really help prevent someone from looking caught off guard by a tough question?
This is one of my favorite tips in the book, and that is whenever somebody asks you a question, you don't have the answer to that question, what happens? Maybe our heart starts pumping. Maybe we have this look like deer in the headlights where we're like, "Oh my God," like we look shocked, right? There's a tip which is the down up point movement. And this is one of my favorite is a body language technique, by the way. It's a body language technique that I always encourage people to utilize when they are caught off guard with a question that maybe they don't have the answer to. So, this is what it means. When somebody asks you a question in a meeting, and maybe it's in front of everybody, or maybe it's like in front of like these senior executives, and you're like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Like, I don't have the answer to this question. Instead of looking flustered or starting off with the the uhs, right? Because that can happen when we don't know what to say. What I want you to do is somebody asks you a question, you don't know it. Instead of don't even say anything. The first thing I want you to do is look down. And that's a down. Look down, nod your head, just nod your head while looking down because that gives the impression that you're thinking about that question. Yes, you might be thinking about that question, but it's also a way for you to kind of like compose yourself because you're giving the impression that you're thinking about it, but you're actually maybe just giving yourself that deep breath. So that's the down. Look down and nod your head. Then the up is you look up at that person. Give them that direct eye contact because it's showing that you're composed, you're not flustered. And then you make your first pointed statement. Your pointed statement can be, that's a good question, but I don't actually have the answer to it, but let me get back to you. And that's it. The down up point movement is a very, and by the way, this is a strategy, it's a technique that we often do when we do the kind of like media consulting, when we're trying to teach people how to do media interviews because sometimes media interviews people are shooting questions at them and it's like these are tough questions. This is the movement, the down up point movement that I would encourage you all to use in a meeting at work because it can still show and hold that credibility without showing that you're flustered.